So it's not a secret that the county structure and the structure in the state is pretty bad overall. Like the conditions are pretty bad overall. There's a lot of violence. There are major problems, and from what I understand, aside from the fact that being able to volunteer for these programs allow these inmates to shave off some of their very long sentences, it also gives them an opportunity to train.
The Montebello Plymouth Congregational Church.
As soon as I heard that Altadena's buildings had all burned down, there was no question that if they wanted to worship with us, it would be a joint service.
Someone's going to reach out and invite us to come, and they did.
What we saw was an amazing example of generosity. Church faithful, side by side, dozen sought solace, and the belief that faith moves mountains.
It means a lot to me. I almost didn't come because I didn't know
I'm
if I
using
could
the Shure
handle it.
mic. I already checked it. That's the first thing I checked.
Hey,
Actually.
Hasan, how you doing, man? This is KTTV
from the
TOC.
church.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're live, by the way, on my end as well, just so you know.
19 homes from our congregation.
Okay, just I'll let them know.
Down.
This married couple took a final picture as they fled their neighborhood turned inferno on Tuesday.
So I took this last picture.
I do not have food on my face. Do I?
What I need for, I don't know, for memory.
At Sunday services, they found strength.
To know that they put on this extravagant welcome for us is just heartwarming.
The church is not a building. The church is the people, and the church can worship anywhere.
So beautifully stated. And I should point out, too, that the church is not the only thing that will be missing soon. The pastor you just heard from, he has to resign soon because he has severe case of Parkinson's. And so in the next couple of months, he'll be stepping down. So that congregation is feeling loss from every Steve's reporting live from Montebello, where a lot of people showed up.
Hi, I'm good. I can barely hear you, by the way.
Sending it back to the studio.
Over the TV.
Laura,
during the programming, right?
Over the programming, yeah.
They talk about this from a religious perspective of making this make sense.
Let me ask you, is it possible for you not to stream when you're talking to us?
Things that they can't explain themselves.
I told Alex ahead of time that I was streaming already.
Well, you know, I
stand by, please.
Obviously, one of the tenets of the Christian faith that sometimes terrible things can happen in life.
I mean, I don't have to be on,
the belief
to be honest,
that
chat.
There will be another chance, that the broken hearts will be mended because of the faith in God. And so we saw a lot of that exhibited today. A couple of people told me, as brokenhearted as they were about the thought that they lost their home, that they had received so many text messages, so many calls, people reaching out saying, you can stay here, I'll bring you clothes. And all of that love and generosity that is shown gives people the strength to go on, because they know that very soon the sun will come up again and that better days are ahead. It is a promise that is given to us by God.
And Laura, did you have the opportunity to listen in on some of the sermon?
Yes, I got to hear a little bit of it, and we heard from several people speaking. There was a visiting minister here as well, and she was quite eloquent in her words too.
Who cares?
But you know, mostly I think it was people being together, the fact that they were able to pray together and hold each other and be together in their faith, that gives them the strength and the courage to go on. And we all know that tough times impact all of us in many ways, whether it can be sickness or, like this, a sudden loss of a home or a spouse. But somehow you get through it, and being together is really at the core of what compels people to go forward.
It's always a little better with support from everyone. Thank you, Laura.
And that sense of community is just so important.
The energy.
And speaking of community, you know, we're seeing people from all over the world coming to our aid, including our neighbors to the south. Firefighters from Mexico arriving at LAX yesterday to help in the firefight. California Governor Gavin Newsom sharing this video. He was there to greet them in person. They're joining the 14,000 plus personnel already battling the Palisades fire from around the country.
And we learned that they have to be trained a bit, so they're going to Beaumont first to be trained, and then they will join other people on the fire lines, other fire professionals. Well, today, Governor Newsom ordered another 1,000 members of the National Guard to Southern California. Fox 11's Mario Ramirez reports on their efforts.
Tens of thousands of residents remain under mandatory evacuation orders in this area. And now you can see
Hasan,
here
we're
behind
about
me, the
3 minutes
California
away from
National
talking to
Guard
you.
has
Alex will
moved
talk to
in
you.
to help with
Okay, perfect.
wildfire
Thank you.
efforts in the area. This is called a MAT V. It's made to withstand explosives, right now being used as a show of force to deter criminal activity. We're talking about 400 Guard members that have now been deployed to assist law enforcement with traffic control and securing these fire zones. It comes as 20 people have been arrested for looting in evacuated areas between Wednesday night and Thursday morning. Governor Newsom approved the deployment, saying the state's using every resource to protect these communities, also warning that looting will not be
It's
tolerated.
not anxiety. It's just that
now, if we take a look across the street here from Woodbury and Santa Rosa,
it needs to be
you can
cleared.
see the amount of debris still covering the streets. We've seen downed power lines and trees all over the neighborhood that have yet to be taken care of. As for the National Guard, Sheriff Robert Luna says additional Cal Guard troops will be deployed in the coming days as the Eaton fire continues to burn in the hills above Altadena. In Altadena, I'm Mario Ramirez. Back to you.
Thank you, Mario. The weather, the key part of this story in the days ahead. Our chief meteorologist, Adam Kruger, and a worrying forecast.
That's right. We've got the red flag warnings posted now through Wednesday. We mentioned earlier, though, how it will be especially dangerous or particularly dangerous by Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning. More on that in a moment. But I want to share some little bit of good news with you. And we've seen this from the aerials, or if you've just been outdoors today, you can see there's certainly less of a hazy appearance to the sky as the fires are settling down a little bit. We actually have mostly good air quality across the area. A couple sensors right here measuring moderate air quality, but that's as bad as we see it right now. It doesn't mean we're in the clear for the rest of the next couple of days or a week or
I'm
whatever.
not getting paid for the shatter.
And we've seen that the smoke can kind of like come and go. But for the moment, we have actually pretty good air quality across a lot of the area. But we have those wind alerts in effect, and we talked about this earlier now. So all colors right here are currently under a wind advisory, but then it's these yellow spots that by Tuesday morning early at 4 a.m. will officially switch to a high wind warning, and that will be in effect until noon on Wednesday. And that's when we're in that particularly dangerous scenario where it's extreme Santa Ana wind conditions, essentially. And if a fire were to start, it could get out of control very quickly. We've got those gusts that could be up to 60 to 70 miles per hour in those yellow areas. But even in the tan spots, gusts could peak at 45 to 55 in these next couple of days. Now, we haven't talked a lot about temperatures because it's all been wind focused and for good reason, but I do want to let you know, I mean, we've got, millions of people that are kind of away from these fires right now and just going about kind of normal weather and actually pleasant weather. But I do want to say that we've got some pretty cold temperatures coming our way for tonight. And a large part of this is because the air is so dry and the winds are kind of calming down, especially around the LA basin area. And that's going to lead to some low 40s in parts of Los Angeles. And then we go into tomorrow, it's going to be a lot of sunshine mixed with, of course, some of the smoke in the air. And we've got temperatures 60s to near 70 degrees in many spots. And I'll just show you the 7-day forecast, which I haven't even used in, I think, 4 or 5 days or so because we've been so wind focused. But I just want to show you that there is no rain in the picture. The National Weather Service is hinting at Friday through Sunday there might be something showing up rain-wise. I'm not quite seeing it on models, not buying into it yet, but it'll be something to watch. Of course, we would hope for a little bit of rain at that time. But again, we've got those winds that'll be an issue through Wednesday. Then we're past the next upcoming Santa Ana wind event. And we do expect a cooler pattern and some less dry air, so slightly more humid air as we get into the end of this upcoming week. Guys?
All right, Adam, thank you so much. Up next, we're going to talk about the incarcerated firefighters and their extraordinary work on the front lines. Hasan Piker, one of the biggest names online, went out, spent some time with them. He joins us live next.
Your virtual assistant. Stand by. We're at a break and then it's you.
All right, perfect.
What I would give to be able to make art on this scale.
You will one day, but it's equally important for you to be thinking about.
What's up,
Hi,
Alex? Can you
Hasan.
hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear me.
Yes, perfect.
Hello to your crowd, right?
Yeah. You got
You're
30,000
streaming right
people
now?
watching you right now. They can see
Oh,
you.
very nice. Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. We got a big crowd watching on TV coming out of the football game, too.
Yeah.
We'll start off by just sort of talking about what you saw out there, and then what are the key lessons that we can learn from it going forward.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be live on the Fox 11 in probably a minute or two. And we appreciate you reaching out, and thanks for the work you do. I mean, it's important, and I think it's good to highlight this.
Yeah, no, thank you. You guys have been doing tremendous coverage as well. I've been tuning in just to figure out what's going on in my backyard. So.
And are you okay? You're okay? Everybody's safe?
Yeah, we had a brief scare with my best friend who also streams on Twitch. I mean, that was like directly on top of them, so they had to evacuate by foot because there was so much chaos and traffic. So I had to go pick them up in my car, and they stayed with me overnight. But then they released the evacuation order, so they're back.
Yeah, the firefighters did an amazing job on that one. They basically put that thing out in like an hour. That's awesome. All right, well, we will see you on TV real shortly. Thanks again, Hasan.
All right, yeah, thank you for having me.
Miles per gallon, the Prius offers an incredible 644-mile range. And now you can get a low $289 a month lease on a new Prius. Yes, just $289 a month. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Ashley's Stellar Sleep Celebration is going on now. Snooze now and pay later with 0% interest for 60 months in-store only. And receive a $300 gift with purchase. Hurry to your local Ashley store or ashley.com for better sleep and savings today.
Can't skip these ads, chat.
If you've been hurt in an accident and you need
TV
results, call Sweet James. Here are just some of the recent wins for our injured clients. Call the firm that wins big. Call Sweet James.
Once Fox Local, it's where free live news, Good Day LA, local breaking news, and more
Ethical
are on your
Reacts.
phone.
If you've been watching our coverage, you've seen some of the firefighters that are out on the front lines are actually inmate crews, incarcerated firefighters. Hasan Piker is one of the top streamers on Twitch. He's actually streaming live on Twitch right now. Hello to his streaming audience. He is also a progressive pundit, and he spent time, went out, and met some of these incarcerated firefighters, streamed live with them, and learned a lot from talking to them. Hasan, good to see you. Welcome.
It's good to be back, Alex. Thank you for having me.
Talk to us about what you learned meeting these firefighters.
Yeah, so approximately at any given moment when there's wildfires happening in wildfire season in California, there's around 30% of the people fighting those wildfires are incarcerated firefighters. The California State and Cal Fire have a collaborative program with the Forest Service where they basically train some of the incarcerated at what they call camps, conservation camps, where they learn how to clear brush and reach areas that bulldozers can't get to by foot. It's a lot of trekking. They're going and putting their lives on the line basically to ensure that Californians are safe during wildfire season. I met a now friend, Scott Budnick, who is a Hollywood producer. He produced Hangover, Project X, and Old School, and many other projects. He actually started this thing called the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. And I found out that he was actually working with the governor and also simultaneously expanding these programs. And I got to meet some of the youth offenders. This is a camp pilot program that they just started in 2023, where they, for the first time ever, are bringing in youth offenders, young offenders that have been incarcerated under the age of 25 or committed crimes under the age of 25 that are now part of this training program as well. And I mean, it was an incredible experience overall. And one of the things that I was kind of shocked by is the fact that these guys just kept asking, like, why do you care about us? Why are you here? Like they were shocked at this level of attention there because they don't have access to the news as readily available. So they're not exactly aware that like there are a lot of people in the civilian population that's talking about these guys right now. And one of the things that struck me was the fact that they understand that these are very dangerous conditions that they're putting themselves into, but they really are appreciative of the fact that they get a semblance of dignity and a way to help with these communities that they're a part of. So it was truly a tremendous experience overall, and very eye-opening.
And we talk about people going behind bars. Most people that go behind bars are eventually released. And so you want there to be a rehabilitation process so that they come out potentially even stronger than when they came in. And I know for you, you were really struck by the sense of hope that these guys felt.
Yeah. So it's not a secret that the county jail structure and the prison structure in the state is pretty bad overall. Like the conditions are pretty bad overall. There's a lot of violence. There are major problems. And from what I understand, aside from the fact that being able to volunteer for these programs allow these inmates to shave off some of their very long sentences, it also gives them an opportunity to train and potentially an opportunity for gainful employment after they're out, after they are released. And there have been a lot of initiatives to make sure that this is as ethical of a process as possible, especially in recent years. In the past, a lot of these firefighters, a lot of the incarcerated firefighters could only get seasonal employment, and they could never get municipal employment in the Los Angeles Fire Department because if you have a felony, you're not able to get an EMT certification. And if you can't get an EMT certification, you can't become a municipal firefighter. But nowadays, they're working on expunging some of the records as well for demonstrating good behavior and service for the community. And I think it's wonderful because one of the things that I heard from virtually every single person there was the anxieties that they had as far as what they will do once they are released, what they like, how will they find an opportunity to reintegrate into society. This is something that obviously I read extensively on. There's a lot of data available on this, but it was truly interesting just seeing it in person, where these guys were also talking about the anxieties that they have about like wanting to become productive members of society. And this program, I think, is fantastic. And there are still some issues, of course, specifically around their wages. I think since the 80s, they had not seen any meaningful wage increases. I believe they were getting around $5 a day. And they're doing basically the same thing that everyone else in CAL FIRE is doing as well. One of the hardest jobs on the line, basically. And now that wage has been increased to $24 a day, and I feel like it's a wonderful opportunity for reintegration. It's a wonderful opportunity for rehabilitation, and the conditions of the camps are significantly better overall than the conditions of the prisons. But having said that, I think that there's still room to grow. This program could grow as well, and hopefully their wages can be fair in terms of adequate compensation, because utilizing incarcerated firefighters as a way to displace the existing non-incarcerated firefighters is also, lowering the wages of non-incarcerated firefighters.
Hasan, thank you so much for bringing this issue to our attention. We really appreciate it and appreciate the work you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, we got some breaking news now, Susan.
We now have new information about the death toll from the Eaton and Palisades fires. It's risen. 24 people are now dead, considered dead. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office says 8 of those deaths were attributed to the Palisades fire.
Pretty good,
the
right,
other
Chad?
16 from the Eaton fire. The latest cost estimate for wildfire damage is now $150 billion.
I'm good to go, right,
and
guys?
climbing. To put that in perspective, the 2018 Camp Fire in Northern California cost $30 billion, and that fire was considered the state's.
There it is. I try to slam as possible into the 3 minutes that I had there. No, Alex is the man. He would never cut me off. It's not like that. He wanted to offer more coverage to the issue. Arrow 55, thank you for the 25. Get the subs. Was there anything you didn't get a chance to squeeze in? Did you accidentally say concentration camp? No, conservation camp is what I said. ChatGPT couldn't have done it better. Thank you. My conservative dad is watching Hasan Piker. Let's go. That's so funny. That's amazing. This is how we do it, chat. This is how we infiltrate the conservative households. Chuck Dies. Thank you for the 50 big ones. 50 bones. Oh my God, I just realized we got on local Fox affiliate a Cuban flag and a Palestinian flag. Hasan's Scam Coin. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Are they doing any kind of holistic coverage on the incarcerated firefighters? Like, is there any kind of opinion slant from this on Fox? My dad couldn't see you because he told me to set parental control so we couldn't watch Fox earlier. I didn't say Fox 11. Y'all, why are they playing Hasan Piker on these big ass TV screens at the restaurant like I'm invested? That's funny. Get all your videos off TikTok before we lose it. What do you mean? All of my videos on TikTok are videos that come from the stream. There's like very little original content on TikTok. Hasan's stepson, thank you for the 5 gifted. And Iffy, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Why did they show this image, lol? Why does chat always have to play like this? Like, why do y'all got to play like this? Who was that nerd that Alex had you debate on TV back during COVID again? Oh, it was Michael Knowles. That's crazy that I'm literally live for 5 seconds at LAX, and the first thing I saw when I looked up was Hasan on the big screen. That's true. Everyone's currently tuned in to local news. Fool's hairline, thank you for the 5 gifted. You forgot to turn off the filter on Zoom? No! Dude, I look hot bald, by the way. You know the band Muna? The lead singer shared a clip from your stream yesterday on their story. I didn't see that. Yes, Elix is another Alex in the HasanAbi universe, in the extended Alex verse. What is this red flag warning? I was peacefully catching up to my local news to be in the know, and OMG, who is this? Red flag warning. At this point, yeah, eventually I will know every single person named Alex in the United States of America. Did you prepare talking points? I keep asking because as a regular public speaker, I like to see people just dome off so confidently. No, I did not have any talking points prepared ahead of time. Brother, you saw me. I do have the gift of yap, which is why I have the gift of yap, which can be dangerous at times because I get overconfident and don't prepare at all. Honest constructive criticism. In the future, you should talk more about the personal humanizing stories like the ones you shared with us earlier in the stream, just talking about the guys as people that they are and how you felt so safe being around them, etc. Yeah, I wanted to get information out about the program. I wanted to shout out Scott, and I wanted to shout out ARC, the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. And then I also wanted to talk about the program extensively and bring up wages in that limited time, so I didn't get to talk for longer. But yeah, let's get back to this Brit lad. What, Hasan? Some of the YouTube live chat messages, lol. Dude's a tanky commie, gay poser. Bro lives in a mansion. I can't take anyone seriously who has a Palestinian flag on display. Get the F out of here. I mean, come on, dude. It's YouTube comments. Who cares? Why were you looking at the side if you have no talking points? Because I didn't want to get the name wrong of any of the people that I brought up. She rivaled to our Marvel. All right, let's keep going.